Trump keeps everybody on their toes. It's what he does. The media, he knows what he does. He's very calculative. He knows how people are going to talk about it, and he likes to feed the media what he feeds them. And he knows what the results is going to be. He has the media pretty much eating out of the palm of his hands. They hate it. And they hate as much as that he outsmarted them. And not only did he outsmart the media, but don't forget that he outsmarted all of those that were on stage that were the so-called polished establishment politicians that we could trust. Okay? Those type of people. He outsmarted every single one of them. This guy does not have dementia. Does not have Alzheimer's. You don't have to, worry about that we're all in trouble. But that's what he insinuated. We're all in trouble, God forbid. And then, you voted for the orange guy. Give me a break. It's just one thing after another, which leads me to this next story. And this has to do with another talk show host. And he's on television. You may watch his show, Stephen Colbert. Yeah, Stephen Colbert, he's a comedian. And he's basically been taking some cheap shots at our president. And a lot of people are pretty much peeved off. And this is not the first controversial thing that he has done. He has done this before. We'll talk about a little bit what he has done. But again, this is the left at it. This is their amazing attempt to discredit. There's funny. Okay, I like comedy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a prude guy here. I like to laugh. But when things are done in class, but then you have to question things like this. Here is he and why he's taken so much heat on Twitter.
You attract more skinheads than free Rogaine. You have more people marching against you than cancer. You talk like a sign language gorilla who got hit in the head. In fact, the only thing your mouth is good for is being Vladimir Putin's holster.
Do you think that he said anything close or remotely close, the left, on television about Barack Hussein Obama? Okay, there's a lot of things that could have been said about Barack Hussein Obama. Okay, a lot of things. That's just hate. That's hate spewed. It's locker room talk. It's poor. And a lot of people are saying that, God, couldn't he have been a little bit more classy? No, there's no class in that. And a lot of people say, Stephen is far above that. They made him. He didn't make him do that. He decided to do it himself. And people are saying, you know what? Time for him to go. Total trash. And a lot of people are saying, I'm going to boycott the advertisers. How CBS has to stoop to all those. They're saying that Stephen Colbert is not a comic. People are saying I never tuned in because of his hate-filled attitude towards the POTUS. Here's another one. I don't know that I was homophobic, but Colbert's comments were very inappropriate because people are saying there was homophobic as well. He says, so I don't know that I was homophobic, but again, his comments very inappropriate and not funny enough to be worth the risk of what he did. The CBS stand up and do the right thing, fire Colbert, and this should not be tolerated. If it was said about Obama, he would be gone. And so on is the thread. There's a huge thread going on, pretty much asking for the head for Stephen Colbert. It's the late night show. And he sounded off about all of this stuff. This was his opening monologue. And talking about skinheads and ranting about, his hand gestures and just, making, fun of him, saying that you have more people marching against you than cancer. You talk like sign language gorilla. Got hit in the head. In fact, the only thing that your mouth is good for is being Vladimir Putin's blank holster. And you fill in the blank there. Yeah, just vulgar. There's nothing classy, raunchy, locker room talk. It was pathetic. And yeah, if anybody had ridiculed Obama about that, they would have had his head. There would have been people on the phone. The executives would have got the phone calls. Bill O'Reilly, is no longer on the O'Reilly factor talking about, sexual harassment and the accusations and all that stuff. And, it's still to be determined exactly what happened and what led to all of this. O'Reilly says there's a lot more that's going to be had about that. But, they asked for his head there. Here, the hatred fueling the flames, the hatred towards the president of the United States. And, you wonder why we have as many problems in this country and disrespect for law enforcement officials. In Chicago, another ambush with officers. It seems like every day cops are getting shot. The disrespect for the president of the United States, disrespect for the police of the United States. Yeah, the left allowing that portrait, remember, was taken down for Capitol Hill, back on the Senate floor now. We got liberals brought it back in. It shows police as pigs. Okay, you're asking for trouble. You're asking for people to do this. When will people learn? When will people learn? Seriously, it's a disease that has spread throughout this country. I've never seen it before like that in my lifetime. It's gotten really bad where I think people have been given up to a reprobate mind, as Dr. MLK had so eloquently said his speech. I have a dream speech. Back in the 1960s, what a speech, how eloquent, but man, really had a grip. And there are people like that, man. Their brains are diseased. I honestly believe it is a disease. Not all liberals. I'm not just singling out all people that consider themselves liberal or Democrat or progressive that are all, just ape, what. But there's a lot of them that are really sick and diseased, but what they spew out of their mouths, and there's no truth to it. They take small talking points. Donald Trump, like this one that is going out, and people are just buying into it that he has Alzheimer's. And it's the first time you heard it. Well, there'll be more of that. But, you have to debunk it. You have to stop it. And it stops here at For the People. We give you a good dose of common sense each and every day. Hope you enjoy it. By the way, if you've got time to watch movies and you like to be entertained, let me tell you about an app that I have fallen in love with. It's called 123 Ready TV. It is a marvel, in my opinion, a small marvel to some, because maybe it's no big deal. You got thousands of DVDs. But if you don't have the money to be able to do that, if you spend $19.99, you'll be able to watch all the movies that are in the theater, okay? All the movies that used to be in the theater, and all those TV shows that you absolutely love on one app. That's right, one app called 123 Ready TV. And we have it for sale on our website at forthepeopleshow.com. All you have to do is go to our website, forthepeopleshow.com, click on the store page, and start downloading it and start enjoying the titles that you know, and the ones that you love, and the ones that you think you want to get to know. If somebody recommend a movie to you and say, gosh, if I only had the time, well, now you do with 123 Ready TV. Pick it up at forthepeopleshow.com, click on the store page, and it works with your PC and Android devices. Get it now while it's hot. Yeah, I love movies. What can I say? When they came to me with that opportunity to make a few cents off each sale, I said, you know what? That's a cool deal. I'm trying the app out, working with it, and, I love movies. Absolutely. And there's no commercials. No commercials at all. By the way, if you're a longtime listener of For the People, and one of the gifts, I could say, on this broadcast is we have a way of being able to put the tea leaves together and be able to research and, scour the nation's newspapers and information and sources that we rely on and make phone calls to. But Iran being a pest and a constant threat and a problem, and I thought it was going to be a big problem, and it is mounting. It is getting worse. Okay, it's not getting any better. And the reason I say that, well, today, if you didn't hear, they launched missiles off a submarine. It went kaboom, it boomed, but they're launching missiles. Okay, Iran. They're launching missiles, folks. They're not supposed to be doing that. And then the cash that Obama gave them It's funding an unprecedented massive military buildup is what they're calling it, and basically using billions in cash resources provided under a landmark nuclear deal. In exchange, they're building up their military exponentially, and it is a growing threat to that whole region, according to U.S. national security insiders and some sources on Capitol Hill. Iranian officials announced late last month that Iran's the defense budget, their defense budget had increased by 145% under President Hassan, and that the military is moving forward with a massive restructuring effort amid moving forward with force, according to a regional report. So there you go. Thank you, Barack Hussein Obama. Thank you, John Kerry. Thank you, Hillary Rotten Clinton, for making that awful, awful deal with Iran, emboldening the enemy and terrorism. You got poor Israel. You got Palestine over there, Palestinian president there at the White House today, and they are the ones that are funneling money into Hamas, and causing these issues over there. And yet we give them money. We give them all that money. And to strengthen their military. Way to go. That was such a smart move. Yeah, we won't do it. We won't use it. There's another problem. As if we need another problem. The provocation is ridiculous. We need all the friends today that we can possibly get. We certainly need to make deals. And it looks like we have a president that is smart enough to understand the key issues and understand, look, the world's not perfect. You're going to have rogue nations like Iran, unfortunately, and we're going to have countries that do things to its people that we don't do to our people. And not to say that we did not do things that were inhumane in the past. We have a checkered past, but thank God we got away from a lot of the things that we used to do, and we know better. These countries do things that are just unspeakable, horrible, and so many people suffer every single day. We mentioned China, but these people, it's like you got to have them. And if you don't, you're going to have some kind of showdown. We don't want a showdown with China. We don't like a show, not with them. Billion, those amount of people there, billions of people. It's ridiculous. No way. And their military is unbelievable. And their air superiority is incredible. So if we can have some kind of truce with them to fight the bad guys, we'd be all for that. That would be really nice. But we got to pray for peace continually. We got to do it. Do the right thing. Pray. I'm a firm believer of prayer. I really am. I don't talk about it a lot, but, I am a Christian. Try my best to live by the golden rule. And I think a lot of our listeners try to do the same thing. Even if you're not religious, you try to do the right thing, right? The human shield, the big thing now, Kim Jong-un, he is having a field day, more or less, with more Americans. He's got 3 Americans now in prisons, treating them like hell. And today, announcing another prisoner, a professor, bringing the number up of Americans held in its prison. And as international tensions rise, people are thinking that this is his way as some kind of bargaining chip or something like that for keeping these Americans. So, well, if you strike the North, well, you're going to kill these Americans. So you're not going to do that. I don't think we would want to kill the Americans, but if we had to go to war, that would be the chance we would have to take. But he's desperate, obviously, by doing that. And to me, I don't understand how more Americans end up in North Korea. I mean, if I was an American, that would be the last place that I would want to be hanging out in North Korea. I don't know about you, but how people get in there and they want to hang out. Remember that one student touched a poster, a propaganda poster, touched